All right, let's just get right into it. The world is changing like crazy, right? AI is everywhere. And for pretty much every single one of us, that brings up a huge question. How do I stay relevant? Well, today we are going to unpack a really practical framework that answers that exact question. I mean, this quote just hits you, doesn't it? You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because you stopped growing. Wow. See, it's not about grinding harder, putting in more hours. It's about growing smarter. The real enemy, the thing that's actually dangerous to your career, it's not laziness. It's standing still. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
So let's talk about something called the relevance gap. You know that feeling? That sinking, gut-wrenching feeling when you suddenly realize all your years of experience, they're being overshadowed by new skills you just don't have. It's like you can feel the ground literally shifting under your feet at work.
Okay, to make this really hit home, let's meet Rob. Rob is 34. He's a project manager, and he's a guy who followed all the rules. He got the degree, he put in 10 solid years of hard work, never missed a deadline. I mean, by all accounts, this guy is the model employee. And this right here, this is the battle that was raging inside Rob's head. In one corner, you have his 10 years of experience, his knowledge of the systems, his loyalty to the company. And in the other corner, you've got these new hires walking in armed with all the new skills. They're talking about automation workflows. They're focused on the future. It's that classic brutal collision of experience versus relevance. So for Rob, the wake-up call was brutal. It happened during a company-wide training on AI. The instructor asks a simple question: who here understands automation workflows? And all these hands just shoot up around him. But Rob's, his hands stayed glued to the table. And in that one moment, he felt completely invisible. And he realized something terrifying. His experience wasn't protecting him. It wasn't a shield. It was an anchor, holding him back. That terrifying realization leads us to this really powerful idea, a metaphor called yesterday's water. And trust me, it's a super important lesson in what it actually takes to keep a career thriving in a world that just, well, it refuses to stand still. And this gem of wisdom, it comes from Eleanor, Rob's CEO, who happens to be 62 years old. So Rob sees her one day, and she's reading this super dense book on AI ethics. And he asks her, why even bother? And her answer was a total lightning bolt. She told him that learning isn't some luxury you do when you have free time. Nope, it's a non-negotiable. It's about survival. Then Eleanor gave him this amazing analogy. She said to think of your career like a plant. You've got one plant that's thriving, right? It's getting watered every week with new skills, fresh ideas. But then you have this other plant, and it's stunted. It's trying to get by on the water it was given like 10 years ago. Think of that dusty old college degree. The plant isn't dead, but it's sure as heck not growing. And this is the line that just changes the whole game. A plant doesn't grow on yesterday's water. It's so simple, but man, is it profound. Think about it. All your past knowledge, that's your foundation for sure. But it will absolutely not fuel your growth for tomorrow. You have to keep adding fresh water. Okay, so we get the problem, right? But what's the fix? What do you actually do? Well, Eleanor didn't just leave Rob hanging. She gave him what she calls the Skill Vault system. And I love this framing. Think of it as a manageable 3-hour-a-week contract that you make with your own future. And look, this isn't just about randomly trying to learn stuff. It's a system. It's structured. So step 1, Monday morning, 30 minutes. This is your audit. You look outside your little bubble of expertise. Step 2, Wednesday, another 30 minutes. This is your pulse check. You stay up to date inside your field. But step 3, the Saturday deep dive, 2 hours? Oh, yeah. That is the absolute game changer. That's where you stop just passively learning and you start actively building and applying. Now, for this system to actually work, there are 3 non-negotiable rules. You got to stick to them. Rule number 1, the 5-year expiry. Basically, assume any knowledge you have that's over 5 years old is probably at least a little bit wrong. Rule 2, the beginner's mind. Once a quarter, you have to learn something that makes you feel kind of stupid again. It's crucial. And rule 3, this one's huge, the application test. If you don't use a new skill within 30 days, you're going to lose it. It was just entertainment at that point. You have to apply it. All right, so the big question. Did this actually work for Rob? Is this whole thing just a nice theory, or did it make a real difference? Let's talk about the payoff, because this is where all that commitment starts to create real, tangible results. So get this, just 3 months into the system, he gets his first big breakthrough. There's this high-stakes client problem that just blows up in the middle of a meeting. And Rob, he steps up. He actually proposes a solution using this automated data visualization tool he had been tinkering with, building on his Saturdays. And for the first time in what felt like forever, people in that room weren't just looking at him, they were actually listening to him. And it gets better. 6 months later, the ultimate payoff. A senior director role opens up. Now, Rob didn't get it because he'd been there for 10 years. He got it because he had built a portfolio of new, relevant skills that the company desperately needed. And this is the key takeaway, right here. His recent growth became more valuable than his long history. Okay, so let's bring this all back to you. Because this isn't just a nice story about some guy named Rob. This is a blueprint. It's a blueprint for your career. This whole system is your personal 3-hour contract with your future. And the best part? You can start it today. Just think about that number for a second. 3. We're not talking about some massive life overhaul. We're not talking about quitting your job and going back to school for another degree. We're talking about 3 focused hours a week. That small investment, that's what separates being relevant from becoming redundant. So, here's your homework, your action plan for this week. Step 1, I want you to identify your own relevance gap. What's that one skill that, if you're being honest, kind of makes you nervous because you don't have it? Step 2, I want you to open your calendar, like right now, and block out those 3 hours. Don't just hope you'll find the time. You won't. You have to protect that time. And step 3, commit to building one real thing, no matter how small it is, with what you're learning. And that brings us right here to the final, most important question. Because let's be real, the world is not going to wait for you to catch up. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. What is the one skill you will commit to mastering in the next 90 days? Because your future, it really might depend on your answer.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.